In this video, I'll show you exactly how to format your essay in APA style using Microsoft Word. But before I do, make sure to subscribe. A quick note before we get into it, Microsoft Word's referencing tool only supports APA 6th edition. Microsoft hasn't updated it yet. So everything in this video is going to follow APA 6th's rules. There are 7 rules that every APA paper, essay or thesis needs to follow. Number 1, Times New Roman 12-point size. Number 2, double line spacing. Number 3, 1-inch margins on all sides. Number 4, half-inch first line indent on every paragraph. Number 5, page numbers on the top right. Number 6, a running head at the top of every page. And number 7, 2 spaces after every full stop. One quick caveat, some universities tweak Rule 7 and a few have their own house rules on font and spacing. So always check your assignment brief first, but if you're not sure, the 7 rules I'm about to show you are the safe default. Let's get started. To get started, press Ctrl A or select all the text that you wish to format. Then we're going to change the text to Times New Roman and we're going to make sure the size is 12. With everything selected again, we now need to change it to double line spacing. We can do this by pressing Ctrl 2, or we can go up to the lines up here, click this once and click 2. The next step is to change our margins. So we need to go to Layout, then Margins, and we just need to make sure it's selected as normal. We need to make sure it's all the same centimeters on all sides, the top, bottom, left and right. Select this once and that is fine. The next step is to do the first line indent for each paragraph. So we need to make sure we're back at home. Then we need to go to paragraph and we need to select this downward arrow. So click that once. From here, we need to look at indentation because that is how we're going to indent those paragraphs. So under indentation, find special. Then we need to go to first line. Then on the right, we need to click on 0.5 inches. So for me, that's 1.25 centimeters. Okay, you'll notice down in the preview, you can see that indentation. All right. Then from there, we're just going to click Set Default for this document only, click OK. And now each paragraph has an indentation. For step number 5, we're going to add some page numbers, but we need to put it in the top right. So let's click Insert. We're now going to select onto page numbers. Select this once. We're going to click top of the page and we're going to look for plain number 3. Select this once. It will open up the header. It will say 1 and the next page will say 2. Just click close header and footer. Now you've got page numbers on the top right of each page. For the next step, we're going to be inserting a running head, which is a shortened title in capital letters. It's a maximum of 50 characters. So in some cases, you're going to have to shorten the title of your essay. To get started, I'm just going to select my title. I'm going to go down to the bottom, select this once here, and see how many characters with spaces it is. It's 66. So I instantly know that I need to shorten this. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to double select my header. With the header open, go ahead and paste in your title. Now we need to shorten it. Remember when I said it was over 50 characters? So we just need to remove some of the text. I'm going to remove in university students. And more importantly now, we need to ensure that this is capitalized. So select it. Then we need to go up to change case and go to uppercase. Once you're happy, we can click header and footer and click close header and footer. So now if I move on to my new page, it is on the header of every page, including the page number. For rule number 7, it's the 2 spaces after full stops. The 7th edition of APA no longer requires this, but we're assuming we're following the 6th edition. So let's just go ahead and do that. But ultimately, if your university says you don't need to use it, then don't use it. But for this tutorial, I am going to show you. Click File. Then we need to go to Options. From here, we click on Proofing. Then we need to look for writing styles. Once you've found writing style, click on Settings. Then we're going to make sure it says Grammar and Refinements, and we're going to drag it all the way to the bottom until you see Space Between Sentences. We're going to select this and we're going to click on 2 spaces. Then click OK, and then click OK again. All this is done is told the Word document that if you see a double space, that's fine, but if it sees a single space, that's wrong. So you'll need to change it. But it's a quicker way of doing that instead of going through each full stop and changing it individually. Press Ctrl H, then we need to go to Replace. Here we're going to press full stop and a space, replace with full stop and 2 spaces. Then click Replace All, click OK, and click Close. That should replace all the single space to a double space. If your essay requires a title page, we need to ensure we have one. To ensure that we don't cause future issues, I'm going to insert a section break. So to do that, I'm going to select just before the writing. I'm going to click Layout, click Breaks, and click Next Page. It will then push that onto a brand new page. We can scroll back up to our title. From here, we can start to press Enter to move the title to the middle of the page. Just do it roughly. It's not the end of the world if you don't get it exactly right. Then click Home and then click Center. The reason I included a section break is because when I clicked Enter here, it didn't push everything else onwards. It's just a bit useful and it saves a bit of time. Now that we have the title in the middle, we need to change it to regular, not bold. Now we need to put our name underneath. So go to the end and press Enter. Then click onto Center. And you may need to press Enter again just to get it to get there. Then type in your name. If you've got middle names, you need to put it as abbreviations. But Patrick Elliott is fine. Then underneath, we need to actually put our university. So University of Word Made Easy. All 3 of these things need to be under double line spacing. So if you just click and drag and click up here, you can just double check it's ticked next to 2.0. With all the formatting now complete, we can now move on to setting up references and citations. To get started, click References at the top of your ribbon, and then we need to make sure the style is APA. Select the downward arrow, and like I told you before, it's the 6th edition, not the 7th, so select that once. And now we're going to start inserting some citations and building our reference list. Click on Manage Sources, and from here, we need to click New. For this example, I'm going to be using journal article as my type of source, but there's a long list of ones you can pick from, so select the one that is relevant to you. Then for language, I'm just going to click on English United Kingdom, but of course, select the language that is relevant to you and go ahead and type in your author, title, journal name, year, and pages. If you require volume or issue, you need to click on Show All Fields and then just pop those areas in. If you don't require it, don't click it. I've gone ahead and inserted all the fields necessary for my reference. Just make sure that you've got everything that you need and it's spelled correctly. Once you're happy and the language is set correctly to whatever language you want, click OK. So that's your first source for your list. I'm going to add in one more. So click onto New. And from here, I'm going to click onto Book this time, not Journal Article. And I'm going to type in the necessary information. Now that all the fields are complete, we can click on to OK. And now we have 2 sources in our list. I'm going to go ahead and just click Close. For my example, I've already included referencing or citations, but they're not real ones. I'm now going to actually use the ones we've just created. So I'm going to get rid of Patel 2023 here because that's not actually linked to anything. And then I'm going to go to References at the top and click on Insert Citations. Select this once, and you'll notice that the 2 references or sources that we created earlier are now here, Patel and Smith. So I'm going to click on Patel. I'm then going to make sure I've got a full stop and those 2 spaces that we need. I'm going to do exactly the same thing for Smith. I'm just going to remove the old one because that wasn't real. Click on Insert Citation and click Smith, and then put a full stop and then 2 spaces once again. The great thing about referencing in Microsoft Word is that these are now dynamic, so they can be updated and edited at any time. They aren't static as they were before. So if you wanted to edit this citation, like adding page numbers, maybe for a direct quote, then you can do that. It's not a problem. And if you wanted to update the actual source itself, maybe you need to add in that issue and volume number, then you can do that really easily. When you complete your essay, it's then time to create that reference list. And I really do suggest you make the reference list after completing the essay. It just makes it so much easier. Go to the end of your essay, typically after your conclusion, and we're going to insert a new section. So click Layout and then click Breaks and then click Next Page. From here, go to that page. You may need to zoom in, just make it easier for yourself. We're going to insert our reference list. So you don't need to type anything, just click References again, and then we're going to select onto Bibliography. Then you select either Bibliography, References, or Works Cited. Most of the time they want something called References. Just check with your university or college first, select this once, and it automatically populates that reference list. Click just before References, click Home, and we're going to click Center because that's a guideline we need to follow. In addition to that, we need to change the text to Times New Roman and size 12. So just click inside the reference list, press Ctrl A, and then change that to Times New Roman and to font size 12. Check with your university on the heading type of references, or just click on bold and change it to black. You just need to ensure you follow the guidelines set by your institution of learning. You'll notice as well, it has hanging indents automatically, and it's put in alphabetical order. So it's two things you don't need to worry about. Before we finish, let's just double check everything is formatted correctly. I know in some institutions and some APA formatting types, they want the body of text to be aligned left, not justified. So select all the body of work here and click onto Align Left or press Ctrl L. They want the ragged part of it on the right margin. I don't know why, that's just what they want. Make sure that it's not bold for your title page. Make sure the running header is less than 50 characters. They also want it called references, not reference lists or works cited. However, if you've only got one reference, then the reference is absolutely fine to use. I'm sure I've missed out a couple of things, depending on your institution of learning. Remember, this is 6th edition. I actually think it's much easier now for 7th. So hopefully Word updates itself sooner rather than later. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If this video has helped you, click like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you learn more about how to reference your work effectively in Microsoft Word, then visit my website at www.wordmadeeasy.org. The link is in the description below.